Hey guys, my name is Royina. I have type 1 diabetes and welcome back to my channel. And today something that I want to talk about is why I'm open about my condition and why I think that currently as a society we are failing those with chronic illnesses. So to start, let me tell you guys a short story about something that happened to me. I wanted to give a competitive exam, and for me examinations, especially those which are really long, mean that I have to carry with me all of my diabetic supplies when I go to give the examination. So that means I need to carry my blood glucose monitor, and I need to carry a small snack with me during the exam just in case my blood sugar drops too low, and just because I really need to maintain it within a range. If it's too high, I won't understand what I'm doing, and if it drops too low, that can be life threatening. So I needed it just for this purpose, just to check my blood glucose during the examination. And I called up the place where I had to give the examination about 3 months before 3 months before the date of the examination, and they told me not to give the examination at all. That was their advice to me. So I asked them why not, and they said that they could not accommodate my needs. Now it's not that I was asking for something that was really so big, because I owned all the equipment. I was happy to let them check it. I had a note from a doctor saying that I needed to do this. I had my prescription, so I had all evidence that was required to show that I have this condition, and this is a necessity. So it's not just that I can do without it. But their official advice was that I don't write the examination, and that made me so furious. But that is the reality of living with a chronic condition in India today. You are denied several opportunities, whether that is in the workplace, whether that is at a university, whether that's in public places. There are no laws in place to make sure that those with chronic conditions are not discriminated against. There are no options when you go to a restaurant. For example, when I go to a restaurant, I don't have options to choose like brown bread, multigrain bread, gluten-free bread, etc. The places do not cater to my varied needs. When I use a washroom in a public place, or to take an injection or to take my medication, there's no sharps container. So sharps container is a plastic waste disposal box used especially for things such as needles and other used medical items, in order to ensure that nobody gets hurt or infected. So given that we have one of the largest populations of diabetics in the world, having sharps containers in public places would seem like an obvious need, because people need to constantly dispose of their insulin pen needles or their syringes, etc. Yet there is nothing, and I'm not supposed to take injections in public places because people just find it repulsive, but I'm supposed to go to a disgusting bathroom and do that instead. I have met several people now, thanks to my YouTube channel, who have chronic conditions, and one common thing that I hear is how nobody knows about their chronic condition. Not their extended families, not their friends, not their colleagues, not their teachers. So the condition is constantly hidden. And why is that? Again, because of fear of constantly being reproached, of being judged, and of getting opportunities taken away from them. If you have a chronic illness and you're living in such fear on a daily basis, I'm sure you guys can understand how poor quality of life becomes, because having a chronic condition is a part of who you are. It's not your complete identity, yet it is a part of who you are on a daily basis, and you have to hide that part every single day, because if you freely talk about what you have, every opportunity will be taken away from you. And I find this so disappointing and painful. And the reason why I find this most painful for type 1 diabetes is because children get type 1 diabetes. You can have kids as young as 6 months old getting diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. That's an infant, right? And for the rest of his or her life, that child is going to be told about all the things they cannot do. In many places, type 1 diabetic children are not allowed to go to school. They are told that they cannot get married. They are told that they cannot have a job. If they disclose the condition to the university, to their employers, etc., their needs suddenly cannot be accommodated, or it is considered that they will not be able to manage the workload, to be able to manage the studies that they have to do, etc., because of the condition. And this is so not true. If you have a chronic condition, all that happens is that you have to do things a little bit differently. But to be completely denied the opportunity to do it when you're being open about something that is life threatening is disappointing. And I'll tell you what the danger is over here. You may say, but Royina, like, if people want to hide it and it's their choice, why does that matter? The reason that it matters is because many chronic illnesses are life-threatening conditions, which means that, for example, if nobody knows that I'm a type 1 diabetic and my blood sugar falls really, really low and I pass out, and nobody knows that I have this condition, what's going to happen? They won't really know what to do. For them, I might have just passed out, so they may sprinkle some water on my face. They may perhaps try to get my BP checked. They will do everything except for check my blood sugar, because they don't know that my blood sugar is going really low. I could slip into a coma. I could literally die if it goes really low. And that is going to be a constant threat to my life. Let's go about the other scenario. Let's say that my blood sugar is fine, but I've gone out somewhere and nobody knows that I have this condition. So I want to go out with my friends and none of my friends know I have this condition, and because I don't want them to know, I try to fit in. So I eat everything that they're eating without taking insulin, because they don't know that I have to take the injection and I don't want to disappear into the bathroom. So I eat a ton of dessert without any insulin. I have a ton of drinks without taking any insulin. And I go home 3 or 4 hours later, I check my blood sugar and I take the insulin later. And I do this on a regular basis. So that means my blood sugar is spiking really, really, really high up on a regular basis. So it's going to numbers such as 400, 500, 600 on a regular basis. What's going to happen is that my blood is going to turn acidic. My body is going to go into shock. And I'm going to either again go into a coma or die. So I am, or worse, right? If I do this over a long period of time, let's say my blood sugar just stays high constantly for a long period of time, I can go blind, my kidneys can fail, and I am putting myself at this risk only because I feel that I will not be accepted because of my chronic condition. This is what I find absolutely horrifying, to think that there are individuals who put themselves out there through these risks on a daily basis because they're not able to talk about their condition. And I find it so upsetting. And this is why I chose to talk about my condition openly. I wanted to raise awareness about the condition. I wanted to remove the huge stigma that is associated with diabetes. And I wanted to reach out to people all over the country and show them about how my life is living with diabetes and how it's really not that different. I may have to do things differently, but it's not that I cannot do something. And if there is something that I am absolutely uncomfortable doing and I do feel that I cannot go through with this, I believe that I should have the opportunity to speak up and say that I cannot do this. But I shouldn't be denied the opportunities completely. And again, this is why I'm open about my condition. I'm hoping that I will reach out to all of you guys out there, those who have chronic conditions, and help them feel brave enough to talk about their conditions, to raise awareness about their conditions. If you would like to come on my platform and talk about your condition, please hit me up on Instagram and we can collaborate. If you are someone who doesn't have a chronic condition, then I'm hoping to reach out to you and show you that somebody with a condition can still do all the things you can do. You just have to do them differently. So I hope that when you interact with someone who has a chronic condition, you will have an open mind and you will have empathy and you will be understanding to their condition, instead of simply shutting the door on them and telling them that their needs cannot be accommodated. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, please share it with your friends so that we can help raise more awareness about chronic conditions. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my content, just do hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.